Okay, welcome back everybody. To this video, we're going to cover the QR2 games for Avon's Grove. Of course, Myth World Cup 2023. It is Men in Tights versus Avon's Grove this time, and I'm joined this week by Kryptos. How you doing, Kryptos?
I'm doing great, sir. Interested to see how these games go.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. If you recall last week, there was a bit of a mismatch in terms of players. There were 7 people on Avon's Grove, and I think only 3 people, Arsenic, Adrenaline, and Empy, for Team Rat Size Cats. And so Avon's Grove was able to get the first game off of those guys, but unfortunately succumbed to the following 4 games. We will see if
Yeah,
we'll see if Avon's Grove can maybe steal 1 or 2 from Men in Tights, who are probably one of the favorites to win. It's hard to imagine the Men in Tights team getting any better from where they were last year, but they do seem to have brought in some reinforcements, even though these are the QR games, so there's, every team isn't really in full force, but yeah, I mean, they're definitely not to be trifled with.
yes, I agree. Certainly a favored team, if not, a top seeded team. And Avon's Grove, is an interesting group of people they got, but they got a lot of them. So it should be. In regards to last week, when I heard Arsenic was playing, it's like, man, well, I wouldn't be surprised. That man is solid when his play, and if Adrenaline was there too, I'm not surprised, honestly. Just the few of them to hold up against so many says a lot. But yeah, let's check out these games.
I mean, what about MP? I mean, you said
Oh,
Adrenaline. You said
who's that
Adrenaline's a
guy?
great player. Arsenic's a great player. What about MP?
MP. Oh, that guy. Yeah, I, I guess depending on the role, he could be useful.
Okay, well, but anyway, yeah. So let's just dive into this game. It's kind of late on my end, so let's just do these 5 in a row. Don't get them over with. This is Capture the Flag, Broken Javelin, Dark. Here we go. So I'm gonna caps lock, Shift up, Shift F7. All right. I don't expect the shift up to do much because I'm pretty sure all these guys are on voice. But unlike we could see right off the bat that unlike last week where it was 7-on-3, these do appear to be even teams, at least when number is concerned. It is 6-on-6. We have Garnish, Vigor, Two Frogs Walking, Meerkat, Cronjack, and Trent Resner, who I believe is hosting. So thank you, Trent, for hosting these games. One of your fellow Creeping Death disciples, I guess. And then we have Team Doomsday with Captain Shad, Spoon, Funk, HMP, Paris, and Ormus. Spoon is saying heads up Ormus tourney game, so maybe Ormus is just watching. I'm not really sure if they'll end up giving him units or not, in which case it would be 6-on-5. But for that matter, Meerkat I don't think is on Avon's Grove, so maybe it'll be 5-on-5. Who knows? But what are your impressions on this map, and what kind of strategies do you think Avon's Grove can do to maximize their chances of winning?
Well, first of all, I want to say I'm just, MP knows I'm messing around. But here, this is a very, I would say, volatile map. Like the units themselves, the Bone Man, Stone Man, what do you call them? Whatever you want to call them.
Skeletons.
Uh, yeah, they like one hit from a mort and they're gone. So like things can really change. If I were, you know, I do have a favored team here, but just looking at the rosters, um, Avon's Grove, they're probably better off. I just off the top of my head, like they really have to be aggressive. And to be honest, I have not witnessed their gameplay, so I'm gonna have to kind of see whether or not how like they can pull that off or not.
Okay. Yeah, well, Paris isn't saying that he has coached Avon's Grove all week. They may give us trouble.
Well,
So
there you go. Yeah, I mean,
when you have someone like Paris giving you advice, it's definitely wise to to listen to him, because he's got such a great mind for the game. He's always willing to help people out. He's one of the good guys, I think. So yeah,
tremendous experience, especially tournament-wise. I don't know if there was ever finals like in Myth World Cups that he was not in. So he's just a good read, I think, on people in their threat assessments, if you will.
yeah.
So we got some interesting trades here. Do you want to talk about the differences?
Yeah, I mean, one of the things I noticed right here is that Shad has opted for a large amount of these skeletons. One thing about them, yes, they are very, perhaps even more prone to explosion damage than the Stygian Knights, but they are really fast, and you can sink them. I think this circle right here might actually be instructions for Spoon to place his skeletons, but I'm not really sure about that. Of course, Max Mercridia, you kind of always have to do that. And then we're going to see a fetch battle brewing.
Game on.
And then we got the Heron Guards. One Heron Guard hero, two healers. On this side, we don't have as many skeletons. We actually have Brigands and Soulless. And yeah, so what are your impressions on the unit trades and the distributions?
Well, just so far, you got seconds to think about it, but I kind of like Avon Grove's select and units in this regard. They got some stronger units, and hopefully they can utilize their artillery well, because that's really going to be crucial here. They need to dominate. Take control of the middle, because the middle is going to decide if one flank or another needs help. They can adjust that way.
Yeah, I mean, basically they just need to put maybe a warlock, a mortar, and 5 mauls or something here, and just plug up this entrance, seal it up, and then sort of try and hold this front here for as long as possible. But I also really liked your idea of getting aggressive, and we can talk about that after the game. But I got some things to say about that. But let's get to the matter at hand. These skeletons, I thought they were going to be sunk kind of in this area. I don't know.
Yeah, this is interesting. Interesting what I'm looking at. Not quite sure what the skeleton roles are going to be. So it's interesting to see. Yeah. But
I'm trying to get a camera angle that shows all 3 of the access points, but
I mean, in the middle does not look so great for Avon Grove at the moment. I really think they should have taken control if they could have.
yeah, I think so too.
Oh, okay. Yep, Paris is gonna deflect that.
I mean, killing Paris when he has fetch is a pretty tall order. I know from experience.
Yeah, he knows what he's doing with them.
All right, well, they're
Interesting.
actually
What's on the right side, the east side.
we're actually not seeing Meerkat. Meerkat should be getting his
Gosh.
his guys chucking some spears at this guy. Oh, it looks like... Oh, that's not good. 2 of those fetch are going to be vaporized. And Paris is not... Okay, Paris is annihilating.
Yeah, it seems, I don't know what, there's a lot of units just not moving, like not moving at all.
Yeah, they're just kind of standing around. Oh.
Gosh.
Yeah, I don't think there's much... They can't really counter the fetch with any of these units, except the Soulless, who are behind.
The Soul, yes, I was going to say, the Soul was really the only deterrent, and they probably would either split or get up on that hill, like ASAP.
Yeah, Bridgestone, man, what are you doing? You need to... I think the Souls should be floating towards this area right here. And then these Souls... Yeah, I don't... Are they AFK? I don't know what... I don't know what's...
Meerkat, AFK or something.
Yeah, no one seems to be doing anything. Not really sure. Okay, and Paris is... Oh, I think Paris might have blown himself up there. I don't know, but these 3 fetch from Paris are, even though one of them just went down, they are dishing out major damage here. Excellent Warlock shot.
Melee. The melee behind him can just, frankly, just go on straight through if they wanted to.
Yeah, and
very strange, yeah, to see so many units sitting still.
Yeah, I mean, maybe they were having some connection issues. I'm not really sure what was going on, but I think Team Doomsday is really putting the pedal to the metal. This is a long vertical map, so, the chances of sneaking anyone around and trying to go for this flag steal is very minimal. Even if you just had like 3 or 4 Mercridia or something, they could have taken this flag, but because of the nature of the map, it's really difficult to sneak guys around, so... yeah, look at... I don't know what these guys are doing.
Yeah, this is it's kind of hard to comprehend what's going on Avon Grove's side. I'm not sure, because I can't, they probably are on voice, so we don't know what the communication's going on.
Yeah, I'm not sure. But it seems like Trent might be able to hold out. He needs this Warlock to regain his mana, but he is quite separated from this huge force that's inevitably going to take over the flag. But let's see.
Yeah.
It seems like this game's over, but we'll see if maybe they can stack some damage and get kind of a small moral victory. Killing a mortar or something might set you up for that moral victory. But this is pretty much over right now. So.
Yes, I can kind of imagine what's going through Trent's mind at the moment.
Flag captured.
Yeah, who knows? I mean, but as expected with those 3 fetch, Paris did a tremendous amount of damage. Just walking straight up the middle, he wouldn't be denied, and Avon's Grove just wasn't really ready. They were out of position. They were AFK. They were having communication problems. Something was going on. I know these guys are better than what I saw just now. So I think something maybe on the technical side might have happened.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. Something just didn't seem right there for units to just not be moving. I mean, yeah, it's kind of unheard of.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but I think overall, Avon Grove's strategy was okay. Park guys here, seal off this access point, and then just kind of create this front here. But yeah, I mean, it's
team eliminated.
It was kind of weird to see. I don't know what was going on.
Yeah, hopefully we get a better feel and on the next game of more reaction from Avon's Grove.
Yeah, hopefully we'll see something. All right, well, this is Myopia, king of the map. So this is going to require even more focus, more more attention than a capture the flag game with only 3 access points. And so hopefully Avon's Grove, they can take some caffeine pills or do whatever they need to do to get focused. And let's just jump into this right here. This is another fetch map. And one of the things you were mentioning earlier is you want Avon's Grove to be aggressive, and that's something I do agree with. I think what Avon's Grove needs to do is to induce volatility and sort of introduce chaos and try and capitalize on that, because in a minimally volatile game, the strategy is going to win and the skill level is going to win, which I think it's quite clear that Men in Tights has both of those in spades. And so, what Avon's Grove needs to do to maximize their chances of winning is to either introduce a strategy that is unconventional or might catch Men in Tights off guard, or something that even just something like a straight up rush, just a full on melee rush. Maybe not with this particular unit set, because the fetch would probably just blast everybody to pieces. But pick a light map or something and just rush it, and that's a great way to introduce chaos to the game. And all it takes is one bottle, one dud bottle, or one friendly fire warlock shot to completely turn the tide of the game. And even though I have a tremendous amount of respect for everybody on Team's Doomsday, they still make mistakes. They still, have some friendly fire every once in a while, and you're not going to induce that if you keep playing passive and you keep waiting for the team Men in Tights to take the initiative. So, yeah.
Right. And essentially, especially in regards to more veteran players, which in this case, the team's Doomsday has more of the veteran players in terms of this World Cup competitive play. It's my opinion, if the other team is just gonna essentially play passively, and response to the other team is just not gonna work out. The other team is gonna they have control of the game, okay? And so, like you said, it's gonna require, in my opinion, you gotta do something unconventional, even if it's like a Thor rush. All right, you gotta do something to throw them off their game, because if you play responsibly, then you're playing their game and they're gonna win. That's my opinion. So.
Yeah, well, what's your opinion then on these trades? It seems the major difference is that Avon's Grove dumped a lot of points to grab these Solus here at the cost of a lot of the Stygian Knights, whereas Team Shad over here, they might have maxed the Stygian Knights and they didn't get any Solus. So what's your opinion on the differences in unit trading?
Well, I would have to favor Team's Doomsday on if it's a territories, a flag, map, especially King of the Map, which this is. Typically, you would want to go with more melee than arty. And each Soulish, I think, is 3 points. So that's a lot of points getting put into them. And really, the most that they can really do is deter, throw, and fetch. So they have to be extremely useful in their positioning. to make it worth their while.
Flag
Um,
captured.
so I would favor going with
Flag captured.
more melee in this
Flag
case than
captured.
soulless.
Yeah, especially
Flag
because
captured.
the Stygian Knights are
Flag
impervious to the whatever the javelins or whatever the soulless throw. That makes them really good for
Flag
having
captured.
just one Stygian Knight on the flag.
Captured.
And they can
Flag
stand there
captured.
forever if they're getting rushed by soulless or something like that. And so,
Flag
but
captured.
Right. It's really difficult for soulless to
Flag
to really
captured.
be productive because the trove, can just they can walk pretty fast. They can just walk around and do what they need to do and dodge.
yeah, I mean there is some impassable terrain and that kind of thing. Maybe not here, but here for example, maybe you could stash some soulless on these rocks. Maybe this rock here is a good place for some soulless, but you also have to beware of these spiders because the spider. Oh God, we're losing fetch already. Vigor caught out of position. It looks like he's gonna lose a couple of fetch
Flag
right off the bat.
contested.
These troves does not look like a good situation.
Flag contested.
Well, Shad with some AFK fetch, perhaps. Not really sure. But, yeah, I think Kronjak was ready to go, but
Flag
nobody was
contested.
really
Flag.
no one was really backing him up, so
Sometimes that's what happens. You find yourself in a situation that's like, gosh, I'm ready to go. I see an opportunity, but I can't make a move unless, uh, unless the team is making a move elsewhere. So, but,
yeah, I think Kronjak, he was ready to go,
Flag.
but no real backup. Let's see if these Trent Reznor or Solus can do anything. They need to be killing this.
Flag.
They're in
Good
range.
job.
They're in range. Throw, man. Oh, he's going to lose a bunch to this mortar here. But I think it's, I would have sacrificed it as many Solus as necessary to kill these two fetch, or these three fetch, but yeah, who knows?
Yes. I think the unit trading, I think they could have done, Avon Groves could have chosen better regarding the game type especially. The Soulless just aren't worth the points, in my opinion.
Well, I agree with you there too. I mean, I might have gotten more spiders, more Stygian Knights. I think maybe something like 5 or 6, 5 or 6 Solus to again, park them on this hill or whatever. That might have been acceptable. Oh, but these Solus are going to get eaten here. But yeah, I mean, it's just too many points to sink into these guys that are too slow for a map where you need to spread out.
Yeah, and this is a pretty BC, pretty BC body count.
Flag contested.
Yeah, a heavy map. In regards to
Flag
only so many places you can go, and it's king of the map. So, I mean, you could look at the percentages. It's not looking great right now.
No, it's not. I think Avon's Grove is lost most of their. Yeah, in fact, I don't even know what happened to their trowel. They were just completely taken out of the game. I think Shad's team's trowel were more or less supposed to follow Bridgestone's, but they might have killed both of his, 2 out of his 3. So, and it doesn't look like HMP suffered that much damage. So I'm not really, when your most important units are killed off screen, that's a sign that your strategy wasn't working. So I don't know.
Lost. Flag contested.
Just, that was a lot of Soulless. I mean, a lot. Each one being 3 points, and on the left side of the map, we just saw 12 points eliminated right there. I mean, that'd have been like 4 Zerg, for example. It's just kind of crazy on King of the Map. But yeah, Paris. How exactly did you coach these guys?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what Paris's definition of coaching is.
Right. We should get him in here. That'd be fun. I don't know where he is, but
Flag contested.
That was a nice explosion there
Flag lost.
to do a bunch of damage to all these guys. If he turned around and fired, he might have been able to wipe out all these guys. But, I mean, the game's pretty much over, so I don't think it would have really done anything. Yeah, there we go. I think this spider's the last unit. I'm not sure why they're prolonging the inevitable.
Flag lost. Team
There it
eliminated.
is. Okay, so this time it was HMP with the lion's share of the damage, no doubt because I believe he had all 3 of the trowel. Maybe he had a handful of spiders, something like that. So, good job HMP for getting triple digits. And, Meerkat with 47 damage for Avon's Grove. Good job Meerkat. I don't know if he's an official member, but to see someone who was basically new at the game, last year. I believe his first tournament was the casuals only tournament from last year. He joined that, and he was basically new. And so to see him playing on a Myth World Cup team 1 year later, and stacking the most damage, even though it was also 24 losses, but most damage.
yeah,
It's good to see.
yeah, indeed. I'm just I'm glad to see these people playing. There's a lot of people. A lot of people decided just not to participate because, well, I mean, I could go on about Myth World Cup history and teams and etc. But these guys are playing, and I hope they had a good time regardless of the outcome of the last 2 games. But yep, unfortunately, it didn't work out in their favor in this one.
Yeah, I mean, it's further evidence that these videos might actually be, helping to attract some people. So hopefully, it makes, even like I've said it multiple times, even if all of these videos only attract like 1 or 2 people, it still makes it worth it if they become sort of a regular and start playing over a multi-year time frame. So it really just helps me, makes me feel better about doing these things, and then I'm not completely wasting my
I
time
agree.
here. Yeah.
I mean, I had my TV just kind of random, but I had my TV on YouTube, and I had autoplay on, and one of Paris's old Myth World Cup videos started playing. I was like, huh? So you never know. Anyone that watches this stuff or anything related to Myth, it might just pop up on their YouTube, and they're like, hey, I'm going to check out that game again. You never know. I think it's worth it.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially since there's no games going on right now. All the co-op has ended, and of course, there isn't really any player versus player games this late at night. But yeah, I mean, you gotta do something myth related late at night, and why not do this? Anyway, game number 3.
Yeah, especially holiday weekend. I mean,
Yeah, exactly.
nice thing to.
Game 3, we got Fosgarach, Ruillick, Territories. I know I probably pronounced that wrong, but so does everyone else.
Yeah, to this day I don't know how to pronounce it, but it is actually one of my favorite maps.
Yeah, it's a nice map, and it is the light variant. So I believe this is the first light variation. Yeah, it'll be territories. One thing to note is that there is no middle flag, which is kind of bizarre. I think putting a flag in the middle would actually change the gameplay tremendously, whether that's by design or not. Who knows? But this circular territories sort of thing is kind of reminiscent of a map like Venice, where the flags are just in a big circle and there's no middle flag. And when that's the case, people typically just kind of break off into two groups. One goes clockwise, one goes counterclockwise. Hopefully all goes well, and there's no real middle play. But I also believe that the middle is an extremely powerful position because you can rotate, wherever you need to go, which is why, even though there's no flag here, it still might be a pretty valuable area to have some presence.
Yeah, just my opinion is you have to dominate middle on this, and like you said, the middle gives you the ability to enforce one flank or the other if they need it. So, but what are your thoughts on the trade and like just general thoughts here going into this?
Okay, well, one of the major differences I see is that Team Lord Scary Owl, who has perhaps kicked Shad into the lieutenant's role, and the general has shown up. I believe Lord Scary Owl is in fact the team captain of the Men in Tights team. He has opted to basically max his goals, whereas Avon's Grove really only has enough to cover the 6 pieces of pus that are going to be generated from these whites. As far as the warriors and the thrall, I think they're pretty evenly matched, but Avon's Grove instead dumped all of those goal points into more archers, whereas actually we can also see that Lord Scary Owl's team got 6 whites instead of 3, but this is a very melee oriented group of guys, only 12 archers, whereas these guys really stacked on artillery.
Quite interesting actually. It's almost not the opposite, but pretty darn close. Like Avon's Grove, very arty heavy, and the Men in Tights are very pus and melee heavy. I think they are thinking we're going to use the pus on enemy arty, but we'll see how things play out.
We see a giant purple arrow, perhaps drawn by Garnest, just pointing straight north. I'm not sure if this is an all go north command. It doesn't seem like it, because we see, despite this arrow, perhaps we might have a traditional 3-pronged attack. So maybe that drawing on the map didn't mean anything.
Flag captured.
I'm interested to see, did Men in Tights get many archers or any?
No, I think they got maybe 8 or maybe 12, something like that.
And I'm going to bet they're all going middle.
I see some Paris bottles being thrown, so we might see a bottle plus.
Flag captured.
But yes, like what we were talking about, we see extremely heavy presence going to the middle, and only just some warrior packs and that kind of thing going to the sides.
Flag captured.
Meanwhile, we see, I think, kind of an even split. Well, maybe not. I don't know. The thrall are going middle, but
my opinion, just looking at the way things are right now, I would say Avon Groves they definitely need their archers middle. Not quite sure what they were thinking, splitting them up on flanks, but we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, we're gonna see. Okay, so this is actually pretty good. They see Kronjak has sealed off this bridge, and they are controlling, the way to reinforce the mid if things go sour. So good. I think it's pretty good positioning on Avon's Grove's part, but these bows need to get to work on these guys right here. It is a 2-to-1 advantage, and of course we have Trent, a World War IIer, who should theoretically be good with the bows. However, I think
I think what's going to be a game changer in this, I'm just forecasting, we'll see what happens, is going to be the pus. The pus from Men in Tights. That is so heavy pus, and it looks like they're going to do attempt bottle pussing. See how that goes, I guess.
yeah, I mean we see them holding this bridge, but it looks like Lord Scary Owl is gonna come around the side and possibly surround these guys. Meanwhile, there's a bit of a standoff
Flag
here in the
lost.
south. Bridgestone has way more units here. He should be getting a bit aggressive, but I'm not sure how they're gonna play that. We see these archers just raining heck on the middle force. It is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There is 8 archers against 12 archers. So
I would love to see Avon's Grove adjust their archers to middle.
well, that is not good.
Oh,
A pus from Shad is going to weaken those archers. Is he going to get one more? Yes, he gets that third one. And now this wall of archers just needs to creep up slowly, creep up with the thrall, and Avon's Grove is quickly being scattered.
yeah. They they're already in a kind of a difficult position to adjust.
Yeah, I would give props to Vigor, who it's his role probably was to hold this area. He did a pretty good job, as well as Bridgestone, Two Frogs Walking. He needs to stop wasting time trying to shoot these.
I agree. On the west side, I think he's about to be pinched over there, if I'm correct.
Captured.
Yeah, he needs to get the heck out of there. A Vigor. Shoot.
Yeah, I think
That's
it's
a tough position he's in.
yeah. Unfortunate. I mean, Vigor. I think he was in the right space, but he's getting surrounded now, and I think it's not looking so good for him. Yeah, it's kind of tough. I think these thrall need to be in front rather than in back. They're the ones who need to deter these goals.
Yeah.
A lot of the archers are shooting at the goals and missing, but in fact the archers, they could be shooting at the other archers and just having the thrall kind of absorb any pus that might be thrown. Oh, that dwarf is going to go down.
Flag lost.
Yeah, I think this says a lot about, particularly this map and game type, especially unit selection. Whether or not you're going to go heavy dwarfs or heavy pus.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's just kind of surprising because I think Avon's Grove probably got something closer to 20 archers, but they were completely destroyed by, who is this? Funk and Paris, who got maybe 8 archers in total, 12 archers in total. So, despite having way more archers, they still lost that fight, and I think it's because they split the archers up, and they weren't really used effectively. But
it's really difficult, to try to utilize archers on a flank. It's just not very effective most of the time.
Yeah, and I think this might be sort of a similar situation with the last game where of course they spent all those points on those soulless who ended up not really contributing to the game that much. They might really just be favoring artillery and ranged units, when in fact, maybe they just, should have just gone with the melee units. And oh, here's the bottle bus.
Oh wow, okay. That was pretty good.
Nice,
Who
yeah,
did that?
HMP.
Flag lost.
That's the kind of stuff that you see from HMP now every once in a while. And that's why he's always fun to watch, because he's such a great player, but he also does interesting stuff like that every once in a while.
Yeah, absolutely. So 1% versus 67.
Yeah, and the 1% is just this goal, I think. So.
Flag lost.
Oh, Shad decided he's had enough, so he just tagged the flag to end the game. But yeah, so nice kind of evenish distribution of damage. Lord Scary Owl got 43 damage. It's kind of rare to see him being the captain and getting the most damage. Usually, he will give the greater responsibilities to other players. I think Lord Scary Owl took his force kind of to this area, so I'm guessing a lot of that 43 damage was from surrounding vigor and all of that sort of mop up damage. But yeah, I mean, it's another case of maybe Avon's Grove spending too much money on those ranged units when they should have just bought more melee.
Yes, indeed. I forget what the next map is.
Desert ruins with a river and at least 2 ponds.
All right. Well, this will be kind of interesting.
So there should be a forest giant. I'm taking bets. How much do we think Geral's going to get the forest giants?
Gosh.
Oh, there's 2 of them. Maybe he'll get both of them. Who knows?
For some reason, that I feel like that 2 frogs walking might end up with them for some reason. But I'm not sure.
Well, the reason might be the fact that in game number 2 he was given the 3 trowel. That's certainly.
Oh, that's right.
That's a good reason why he might get one here. I would like to see Kronjak and maybe Trent getting the forest giants. I think Kronjak has proven himself to perhaps maybe even be the best player on Avon's Grove. And Trent Reznor, of course, with that World War II background, he would probably be best suited for having 1 power unit. But instead it looks like Avon's Grove is giving Vigor and Geral the forest giants. So we'll see how that plays out.
Yeah, I would have to agree with what you just said. Interesting thing about this map is there's no, besides, you have 3 puffs on the map at each start. And, it's quite a skill to manage the puffs and FG together to make it effective. So I don't know how much experience Geral and Vigor have at doing that, and I don't know who has. I'm gonna assume Paris.
Lord Scary Owl and Paris.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, Paris for sure. I know he knows how to handle the combo. This will be interesting. So let's take a look at the unit difference in unit trading. Do you see much a difference between the 2? I wasn't quite paying attention.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, I mean, I see what is probably max Dwarven Mortars at 6 and what is probably max Thrall Elite at, I mean, I don't even know what that would is, at 40, something like that, 40 Thrall Elite. Whereas Avon's Grove definitely doesn't have as many Thrall Elite, and they opted for 8 Soulless instead of the Dwarven Mortars. They only got 2 of those. So, I mean, I would rather have 6 Dwarven Mortars than 2 and then a bunch of Soulless. But we'll see how they fare.
Yeah.
Again, this might be another symptom of them spending too much on these freaking ranged units, especially if it's flag rally and
Game
there's
on.
no real good place to put the Solus. Maybe on this hill, but this thing's kind of far away. In the middle, no. Here, no. No. Not really, no. I mean, there's no good place to park Solus to guard a flag, and so
Yeah, it's really difficult. I can imagine a strat with maybe like four solos or something, just simply as a deterrent against the opposing forest giants. That's really all they can really do on this unit set and on this map.
Flag captured.
But
yeah.
yeah, let's see where these guys are going.
Well, Jarrell's going for the quick tag. I
Flag
don't know who's going to get
captured.
there first. Or it could be a simultaneous tag. Oh, yep, it's a simultaneous.
captured.
Oh no,
Oh,
Lord Scary
they're
Owl
all
actually
gotta
got
be
there
careful
first.
about that puck zone.
Yeah, and both forest giants are here, so Jarrell has to wisely back off.
Yeah, he'll be shadowed most likely.
Yep. Team Men in Tights still doesn't know where Vigor's forest giant is. However, they're going to see him soon. What do you think about the forest giant being a tagger rather than kind of shadowing the opposing forest giants? Do you think that's a good strategy?
Flag
No.
captured. Flag
No,
captured.
unfortunately, I think
Flag captured.
the forest giants need to be in a position of more influence.
Oh,
Like
Jarrell's
right
taking
now.
some damage.
Yeah, he needs backup. And if you're not going to keep the forest giants together, they should at least be, one of them should be knocking the hell out of some other.
Yeah, I mean, Jarrell might be surrounded here. Oh, he might be. Okay, I thought he was going to puss himself, but.
Yeah,
Oh.
look for it for a second.
Yep. I mean, Jarrell got kind of surrounded in that spot. I don't think there was much he could have done, but yeah,
No,
Victor.
I mean,
Flag captured.
you slap a few Zerks and it's not enough. Yeah, I think the use of the forest giants could have been better utilized.
Yeah. One thing we
Flag
will note, though,
captured.
is that Avon's Grove does have the flag advantage. So even though Jarrell did lose his forest giant, one thing he did do is force all of these guys to sort of be at one point, which may allow some of these units to slip around
Yeah.
and tag flags number 4 and 5.
That I think would be their best bet is try to hold off what they can and sneak some units to get the tags. Yeah.
Yeah, I think there may be too much defense.
Flag captured. Flag captured.
These goals need to be tagging.
That forest giants always need to be doing something. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure what Vigor is doing. Just kind of standing around. But he needs to back up. There's just too much stuff defending this flag. Unlucky mortar shot. I think that might have been able to kill HMP if it blew up. Nice try there from Kronjak. Oh, we got a puss here.
Right. Okay.
Get in there. Oh, he's smacking the Zerks. He needs to be
He's
surrounding
doing
this
all
thing.
right.
He needs to be surrounding it. Get him.
Get
Okay. He's gonna get it. He's gonna escape. Okay, but you need to tag. Vigor, tag. Okay, there he goes.
Flag
Okay,
captured.
well done. That was a small victory, but a victory nonetheless. I think he needs to be running to get some flags. Oh, yeah, he's dead now.
Flag captured.
Oh, a bad dud.
Victory
Kronjak
imminent.
with two
Gosh,
Flag
very
captured.
unlucky duds there.
I can feel his pain. Right?
Yeah, but you can see that four. There, I recall like just a couple minutes ago there was only one Thrall Elite. Again, there were two goals here. Those two goals probably could have killed the Thrall Elite, maybe if they had pus or something like that, and they actually could have won.
There was an opportunity, I think. Yeah, what you just mentioned, and if bigger, perhaps. I mean, it's all hypothetical, but if he just went straight south instead of trying to fight anything, they could have potentially won on flags.
Yeah, I think after tagging flag 6, Kronjak should have beelined it for flag number 5 and then rotated around. Of course, Kronjak. Right as I was gonna say, Kronjak did a great job with that mortar. I held my tongue because it looked like he was gonna die, so I'm glad I didn't say it. But he was very unlucky with a couple of those shots, and I think had those shots connected, especially against the forest giant and one of these mortars, that could have been a game changer.
Yeah, it definitely would have made an influence on how that fight went. Might have even changed Vigor's mind. Who knows?
Yep, and it looks
Flag
like
captured.
for the second game in a row, Shad is going to tag it out here. So yeah, triple digits from Paris. I'm not really sure. I mean, I know he helped trap this forest giant down here, but maybe he killed some stuff over here. But I don't know. I'm just gonna say it was a quiet 105 damage, 44 kills, because it wasn't like he was running roughshod over the battlefield. So I don't know what that was about, but I really do believe that Avon's Grove, they could have and they should have won that game. Just a couple of small mistakes, I think, and some unlucky situations, especially Kronjak with those two duds, and Vigor. I think, like what you mentioned earlier, if he just beelined it to the south and started some chaos down here, I think they could have ended up with this 4 flag, because again, I think in the earlier part of the game there was really only one Thrall Elite guarding this thing.
Right.
So
yeah, I'm curious what happened to all those soulless. I don't know.
I mean, they probably just got smacked around.
Over.
I don't.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so. It's still QR, so Avon's Grove still has. I mean, this is all could be a total learning experience here, and hopefully, yeah, it'd be great if they could, even watch this and kind of review, like, that's interesting. Yeah, maybe you want to reconsider the certain maps and game types and when to use soulless and go heavy on archers and whatnot. But
Yep, exactly. And that's what these videos are for. But this will be the last game, Beckoning Wilds Tournament Edition 2.0. Not to be confused, or to be confused, I guess, with Beckoning Wilds without the underscore, which caused me about 10 minutes of inconvenience. But
there's like three versions I think I have of this. So yeah, I think.
Well, I mean, I have on the Tane. There's Beckoning Wilds Beta. There's Beckoning Wilds 1, and there's Beckoning Wilds Tournament Edition without the underscore, and then the one Rat King used was the one with the underscore. and that wasn't on the Tane. It was only the link, in the maps channel. So it threw me for a loop. I didn't know what was going on because I downloaded all three of the versions off the Tane, and the video still wasn't loading. And so,
Yeah.
I mean, it took me a while to figure out that I should just have used Rat King's links, and that it was different because his had an underscore at the bottom, so something must have been different. And then I don't know, but whatever the case may be, we finally got this map, the right map, and this will be the last game. Another light map. Good to see a couple of these light games. Another tall vertical style. Now this might be a game where actually I might be in favor, just of getting all melee units. I don't know if a rush would be appropriate because it is flag rally.
Oh,
You kind of want to
do you
rush.
see that? Do you see that unit trading?
Yeah, I do. Maybe he heard me from the future or something. But yeah, we do see the all melee unit set. I hope they're not rushing because, again, I don't think a rush is that great in flag rally, especially since it's a long vertical style map. I just don't really see it unless they can get to this flag first. Maybe if they can do that, and just, I don't know. I think the all melee rush is better suited for capture the flag or one of those kind of game types. But
I agree. What is
oh,
yeah, I'm curious.
this is interesting here. Yeah, we see men in tights actually grabbing the archers, and going for the Stygian knights. No ghasts. That looks like the major difference is the 4 ghasts and a bunch of bowmen, whereas Avon's Grove got maybe max ghasts. Is this
Oh, that's
20,
interesting.
24
Yeah.
ghasts instead of archers? So I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure the thought process behind the gas, because even if you were to sneak them in the water, it's not territories, so it's flag rally, so you want to tag quicker than the other team. So that kind of, in my opinion, I'm trying to find the reason for the gas.
Yeah.
I would have gone with archers actually in this case.
Yeah, the problem with the ghast is that their major power is that they stun units, but first of all, they're too slow to stun goals. They will stun warriors, so that's one kind of advantage they have, but they don't really stun the Stygian knights, and again, they're too slow to stun goals. So they're really kind of, this is kind of not a great map for them. But I do like the ghast unit in certain situations, just like I like the skeleton unit in certain situations. It actually, the game might be more interesting if they cut out ghasts and put in skeletons instead.
Yeah, I'm assuming, I don't know, we'll see, but that the gas are probably going to head towards water, at least some of them, and hopefully trap some enemy. But I see some arrows from
Flag
Lord
captured.
Scary Owl. Looks
Flag
like they got a
captured.
strat. Probably a heavy, I'm going to say, bow mids and jugger melee
Flag
on the
captured.
flank north. That's just a guess, but we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, I'm guessing this
Flag
is probably just
captured.
going to be kind of defense on flag number 4, and then yeah, the mid is just going to push. I would kind of like to see a couple of these whites, maybe one here or like one here at these choke points. I don't think it's necessary to heal all of them, but they're not even doing that, so I don't know what's going
Flag
on. The
captured.
garnish is frozen in place right here. probably the
Yeah,
Flag captured.
they could have
Flag
used,
captured.
you know,
Flag
easy for me to
captured.
say, right? Just watching, but thinking back over the last few games, they could have said, okay, well, they're used to us being kind of defensive. Why don't we continue that and let them walk into our Wyatts? You know, just a thought.
yeah. Well, that's that's what I would call like level two poker. You know, and you're not trying to play your cards, you're trying to play your opponents, and that's sort of, I think, what you just illustrated there is, you know, you're not really just trying to, you know, seal off access points and guard flags or whatever. You're trying to get inside the head of your opponents and trying to predict what they're going to do. Well, that pus is going to do some damage to this dwarf here, but there's no artillery
Yeah.
to kill it. But you know, Lord Scary Owl, he's really just kind of serving as a diversion, I think. You know, if he can take the flag, great. But you know, all the presence is really here, and it looks like Paris is forcing Bridgestone back. We have some, again, these idle
Flag
units.
captured.
I'm not a fan of units just standing around here. That dwarf is going to die. You know,
Yeah.
these units could be helping out these Stygian knights.
There's that dwarf coming up.
Oh, this Funk guy. Oh, Funk is gonna get funky. He's gonna. Oh, nice pus there from Vigor. It's
Yeah,
actually.
I'm wondering where the pus is on Avon's Grove. Oh, there they are. There's a couple goals back there.
Yeah, there's.
They
They
could
still
really,
haven't picked up all the pus yet. They were a bit slow, I think.
Lord Scary Owl right here, I think, is just, he's communicating, I think, a lot and probably focusing on the other side of the map, to be honest. So he doesn't really have to do a whole lot but hold his spot and let them do their job.
Yeah, I mean, he you know, he's really just kind of, you know, I think I said it earlier. You know, if he can take this flag, great. But you know, he's really just waiting for his heavy hitters to kind of sweep around here, which is what they are doing very effectively. Was that a bottle pus? Or that was some kind of large explosion.
It might have been a bottle on the ground, maybe. This Funk's dwarf coming up.
Oh, that was bad. There was
Ooh,
a pus on a melted white that had a big pus on it, so it caused a huge explosion to these Stygian knights.
the pus this game has just been brutal.
Yeah. You know, pretty good job from Kron, Jack, and Trent holding this flag. You know, I mean, it didn't really serve a huge purpose in the end because the rest of the army got wiped out. But you know, I'm looking for compliments or you know, looking for ways to compliment Avon's Grove, and you know, they did hold this flag, and they're forcing Lord Scary Owl to retreat a bit. But I don't think, in the grand scheme of things, it's gonna cause a major reversal of where this game is headed.
You know, I think this could be a great review of strategy and, yeah, just a learning experience, frankly, for Avon's Grove. I mean, they're going up against, you know, veteran players. You have to take that into consideration. But I don't think, you know, just for one, there shouldn't be any excuse for units not moving in the competitive gameplay. But you know, just in terms of their unit distribution and unit selection for the game type, they might want to, you know, take a second look at how they spend their points on the units. That's just a couple thoughts.
Yeah, I think so, and
Flag
you know, I think they also
sudden death.
might need to turn up the aggression a bit. I want to see some I want to see some all-out rushes. I want to see some, just unconventional strategies. Not, stop trying to outthink the other team. Try to out chaos the other team,
Team eliminated.
and I think their chances of winning will go up.
I agree, and I kind of alluded to earlier, going up against veterans, solid players. If you let them, play their, you're gonna be responsive to their gameplay. It's not gonna work out well for you. Like, you gotta cause some chaos, do something unexpected, and maybe crazy. Preferably not a melee rush or whatever, but something that's gonna throw them off their, something, this is something to throw them off guard, But I would like to see more aggression from Avon's Grove. Maybe they need a new coach. Paris.
Yeah, well, who knows? Maybe you're the guy for the job. Except I think you guys might be facing Avon's Grove next week. So who knows? But yeah, I think the three things to take away would be be more chaotic, stop spending so many points on artillery or ranged archers and souls and that kind of thing, and keep moving. Don't just have idle units standing around, because every unit has its own way that it can contribute to your war effort, and to just have guys standing around, it really doesn't produce anything, and it doesn't really help at all. So